Hey, how's it going? My name's Brandon. I posted a couple videos on here just of me doing some quiet camping. But I was wanting to build a chuck box, and everything I've seen online is just using plywood, 3/4 inch and 1/2 inch, and it looks like it's pretty heavy. So I wanted to build one out of extruded aluminum and 1/4 inch plywood. So I got a lot of 2020 aluminum here. I drew up a model in SketchUp. I have a full cut list, and I'm gonna hopefully build a successful chuck box. We will see. All right, I'm gonna get to cutting all this aluminum and I'll show you me putting it together. So just to give you guys like an easier idea for organization, go ahead and wrap some like painter's tape around it. Mark it with the number or letter that you designate and the lengths. Then you can find them easier after you're finished. I got a couple more cuts to do. I'll just show you what I'm doing. I'm measuring on one, clamping two together, chop sawing, so that way they're the same length. But you'll see that right now. Then you get two pieces that are exactly the same. A lot of these things are pieces in pairs. So cut two. I mean, I already cut four at the same time. As many as you want. But that's what I'm doing. Just keep doing it, and then a couple more pieces, and we'll start putting this thing together. All right, so I have the majority of the pieces cut. I'm just waiting on a little bit more aluminum to come in the mail. Hopefully, it gets here today at a reasonable time. So now this is on my iPad, but this is what I drew up in SketchUp. I'm just gonna start putting pieces together. I named the components. That's how I named them when I taped them. So hopefully it goes together nice and smooth. We'll see. I'm just gonna mock it up real quick. The pieces that are left are only for the doors, so at least we'll get the main structure put together. So some of these aluminum extrusion connections require a hole drilled into the side so you can connect another one at a 90-degree angle. So I 3D modeled just a drill guide. It slots over 2020 extruded aluminum. It's 20 millimeters in width, so as long as it's lined up, your hole should be in the center. I've already tested it on another piece and it works pretty well, so I'm just going to use it right here. Drill a couple holes. I guess I'll show how it works. So I want these to be at the very end so it's flush, so I'll just line it up here. And then you just drill through. So you'll have to take another drill bit to make the outside a little bit larger so the head fits in there, but just for an idea. Now you got a hole drill through that'll line up with a piece of extruded aluminum on this end. Alright, so I had to model another 3D printed part real quick. This is to allow the head of the screw to pass through the extruded aluminum. Um, Hopefully it works. I think it will. It's just a bigger drill bit. Let's see. Just line it up there and hopefully it holds it straight. Oh, this is gonna be bad. Oh, it wasn't that bad. Yeah, it kind of works perfectly. So now, when you put your screw in there, the head of it can pass through these two rails. Just double check to make sure it fits. Yep. Alright, so this is how I drill the holes. I have a drilling and tap bit. I just put a little bit of oil on the end hole here and then run it in halfway, take it back out, run it in the full length. It helps to have something nearby to like brush off the aluminum. That's it. And I'll do this side. If it gets stuck, just like twist it back and forth a couple times and it'll work itself loose. Then you can undrill it. So far it's going together like Lego set. I had to drill out a couple of these guides just to the next size drill bit, but I'll post what size drill bits I was using for it. But no big deal, you just clamp into it and drill a little bit bigger hole. Cool, I'm gonna keep putting parts together. Okay, so I got the main frame all put together. I'm gonna run to Home Depot, get some more plywood. And I still gotta wait for a couple more aluminum extrusions to complete the doors. And then that'll be it. I'm hoping to get the plywood all cut and then I could at least stain it tonight. I'll be ready to go tomorrow. Might take a couple more days. I'm gonna want to shellac it, give it some protection, but so far I like it. The stove fits perfect up here. I'm just trying to decide if I want to make this a flip top or just leave it like a flat top where I could put the barbecue on top of. Kind of leaning towards just leaving it flat on top. It's less complex and then I don't have to worry about wood knocking into the aluminum extrusion. But I guess I'll decide once I get there. All right, well, I'll run off to Home Depot, get some wood. All right, so it's the next morning. Took some measurements of some panels. I'm gonna go ahead and cut one, make sure it all fits. I'm adding a 1/2 inch, so that way it could slot up inside the aluminum. It's a little loose in there. I'm hoping if I do 1/2 inch, it'll squeeze it up against the top, keep it from rattling, but we'll see. Cool, so I'll cut this panel and then we'll test it. Um, this I built a couple years ago. It's like a track for circular saw. Just haven't bought a track saw, so but it works good. I mean, cuts are always straight. Alright, so I'm gonna test fit it. Okay, I think I have to make a couple notches. That actually looks pretty good. This is what it looks like. So it'll be inset into the aluminum. I think up here there's a little corner I have to notch out. Alright, I had to trim just a tiny bit off, but that's the idea. So it sits between all these aluminum extrusions. It gives it like a recessed panel. It looks pretty cool. I'm gonna stain that probably like a rusty dark color. I think it'll look good. I'm gonna keep cutting these panels, and then I got the aluminum for the doors. I just need some M6 hardware, and then I should be able to finish it. I'll stain these probably tonight, let them dry, and then I can finish it tomorrow. So as I'm cutting the middle pieces for the shelves, I'm notching out the corners a little bit because there's extruded aluminum in the way. As you're building it, I mean, you'll see which corners you have to notch. I'm not doing anything scientific. I'm just notching the corner, not even measuring it. But everything's fitting together pretty well. I had to adjust how much extra I'm gonna add for the extruded aluminum. But other than that, everything's piecing together. So I'm gonna finish cutting the panels and I'll sand everything. Hopefully be able to start staining it. All right, so I got all the main panels cut. I need to cut the back panel, and I decided I'm gonna make this hinge up. I figured out a way that I still have enough wood to do it, and it won't be that hard. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. It'll be cool. So I'll hinge up. Barbecue goes right up here at the top. This is where it stores. It's coming out pretty clean. I like it. So I have this guide right here. This one is used for putting screws in the end of a panel or the side of a panel. Put it up here, and it's lined up exactly where that channel is for the extruded aluminum. So I just made a couple marks, and I'll go through, line this up, drill a hole through, and you can put nuts on the inside of those tracks. I'll just show you how it does. And then when it hits the back, it kind of leaves a little silver mark, so you know where to put your nut. So I'll use this on the sides and the bottom as well. Just keep going around and drilling holes. All right, so I got all the panels cut up. I'm almost finished sanding, and then I'm gonna run off to Lowe's this time and get some stain and some clear coat for it. But I just gotta look up. I want a darker stain, something that goes good with the black aluminum. But I'll look at them once I get there, and then get this stained. I'll do the clear coat tomorrow, and it should be done. All right, so I got all the pieces brushed off. I'm gonna run some tack cloth over them just to get off the rest of the dust. And I got some stain I'm gonna rub on, and after that dries, we'll go ahead and shellac it. It's probably gonna take another 2 days, but I'm gonna get all the pieces stained and drying so at least I can shellac maybe tonight. We'll see. It'd be nice to do a coat tonight, but see where we end up. So these are all the pieces. I mean, I brushed them off just to get the last bit of dust. We'll use the tack cloth. And the stain I'm just gonna rub on with those rags. For most of these pieces, I'm not too worried about the edges because they're going to be sitting inside the aluminum channel. So I just want to make sure I get all the dust off the faces. Okay, for this stain, I'm just going to be rubbing it on with one of these rags. Just dip it in the stain, start rubbing. Comes out pretty even like this. That's what it looks like. Just gonna keep doing the rest. All right, so I got most of the panels all stained. We're going through a heat wave or something here in California. It's pretty warm in here in the garage, but that'll just mean the stain hopefully will set up a little quicker. I got the back panel. I guess I'm gonna make the doors tomorrow, unless the screws get here and pretty soon. But I don't know. It's hot out here. All right, so it's the next day. I got all these pieces stained. Stains had 24 hours to dry. I'm gonna put on first coat of shellac, and I'll probably just do like a time lapse through that. But I'll probably do 3 coats in total, and hopefully that's good. All right, so I got the whole thing pretty much put together. This is it so far. I just got to put these 1/2-inch pieces of plywood on, and it'll be almost done. So the plywood kind of rattles a little bit. It's not exactly a tight fit. So I 3D modeled some like spacers that I'm gonna slide in there. I'm hoping it's gonna take away the slop. I'll film it if it does. Yeah. Bye. All right. So for these hinges, I have to chisel out a little bit of the top, just so it'll sit flush. I think it'll come out cleaner this way. But I'm just gonna place them here, take some measurements, and then chisel out probably, well, however thick that is, a little less than 1/4 of an inch. Hopefully we get them fitting pretty good. All right, so I got to thinking, and if I'm cooking at night, I kind of want this thing to light up a little bit. I had a LED strip light from another project I was working on. So I found a 3D model online. It was just a LED strip holder. I'm gonna mount it up in here so that way it shines light back. And I might do one in each door too. But I'm just gonna get those mounted. I'll have to cut this and solder up some other wires to it. But just plug it into a battery bank, and I'll just keep the battery bank inside here. Okay, so I cut the LED strip to length. I'm just gonna tin both sides, these pads, and then I got some thin wire from like drone stuff that I'm gonna use to connect them back to the doors. I think I have some heat shrink that might be long enough to cover up those wires, or I might use like a wire mesh sleeve thing that I have somewhere. Whichever I find first, I'll use. Cool. So they're just positive and negative wires. It's nothing too crazy on these ones. And it's like a soft white light. Okay, so I'll get this cut up. I might just leave that cable to full length. Probably take off this heat shrink here. This is the other end of the cable. Okay, so this is what I have so far. This will come off that main white cable. It's the main part, and then to the door on the other side. And then I'll connect this one to the white cable as well. This will be like a T connection. Then it should split off to everything, and hopefully the adhesive is good enough to stick it in there. Cool. So they're all lighting up. That's good. Sweet. So that's what it looks like with some LEDs in it. I think it looks pretty cool. It adds some light. Be able to see what you're grabbing now. Alright, so I'm pretty much finished with it. I'll probably just do little tweaks here and there, but here it is. So inside here I have a piece of paracord just attached to a screw to keep this side from being loose. Just pull it up. I'll print some more 3D spacers for these panels so they stop rattling. But then you got a battery bank in there, and then now it's all lit up. I like it. It's a little heavy still, but I think a lot lighter than some plywood, you know? That's it. All right, well that's the end of the video. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it turned out pretty good. I'll take it out on a camping trip and see if there's anything I want to change. But I'll keep making little tweaks to it here and there. I mean, if you guys want to build one, I got plans for it. I could share them with you guys. Yeah, I'm curious to see what you guys' thought process is and how you end up making one. Be cool to see what other ideas are out there. Anyway, that's it. I'll show it off when I go camping next time. Bye.